Alright, welcome to my video on patch 14.19 or split 3 beginning, right? I've been cooking, as the people say, and more or less have a 68% win rate on Taric right now, so that's obviously pretty good. So I'm just going to be here to talk about all the changes, how they affect Taric jungle and support, and what we're doing. So, first things first is they were actually going to nerf Taric, and then it disappeared. I don't really know what happened there, but the Taric nerf maybe got moved to a different, it's not going to show in here, but like they were planning on what they're going to nerf. They were going to nerf Taric. Suddenly, the PBE loads and there's no Taric nerf, so I guess they dialed it back. Because the main thing that they're going to nerf, which I probably should have up the changes, but I don't, because obviously they're up to change. All of them are. Thornmail is getting nerfed. And, well, wouldn't you believe it, we are basically going Thornmail like every game. Like, Thornmail is just so good. I don't know. It's like, for Taric jungle, you can go Thornmail first item. Like, just straight up. Like, you can just pretend to be Rammus, and it's just good. And then, of course, paired with Abyssal, like, Thornmail Abyssal is just good. And, like, you can go Thorn Jackshow, Thorn Abyssal, Thorn, Thorn Locket, Thorn, Thorn is, like, so easy to go. And it like almost incentivizes you to go steel caps, because like if you have Thorn steel caps, like what are they gonna do? If they have a lot of tenacity, of course, like I've been seeing like Fiddlesticks and whatnot, you end up going, of course, Mercs, even though they're really, really over expensive. Like I'm not really seeing these angles where it's like, man, I should go Thornmail Wits End or like Thornmail Sterix or something to get the tenacity. Like that's still a little bit brutal for Taric to like try to invest in those kind of items, so it's probably still better to just get Mercs. But I'm trying out different boots as much as I can, so yeah, we'll see if mages get nerfed. So let's just talk about Taric jungle specifically first. So they brought lethal tempo back, and I tried it, and it's okay. Like I don't know, it's okay. Like you'd think it would be nice, like if only because there's something in lethal where it says if you have bonus attack speed, like when you're fully stacked, it should do extra damage based on your bonus attack speed, and Taric doubles his attack speed, so that's 100% bonus attack speed. It should be an incredible amount, but of course, the calculation for Taric's passive is taken after everything else, so Lethal Tempo doesn't understand Taric has an additional 100% additional bonus speed, or bonus attack speed, so like that could have been super cracked to go lethal, but it's not. Like if you're going lethal, you can go Rod just like before. But if not, it's whatever, right? Obviously, there's all these changes to all these items. A lot of the items being cheaper is like, it's pretty nice because Taric just picks up a lot of random items. The Thornmail is very easy to build. There's a lot of different pieces that you want. It's just nice raw resist right away, and so with all the stats overall being down, that's usually going to be beneficial. Even changes like that I'm finding are pretty good. So for in the jungle, we've tossed out Deadmans, and because they nerfed Deadmans, like if I go find Deadmans, I hope I can find it quickly because I'm talking about it. So many changes. So many changes. Deadman's plate. Where art thou, Deadmans? Yeah, so like Trailblazer and like, Trailblazer move speed down, health up, like that's, Trailblazer is practically the same. But Deadman's going from the max from 40 to 20, like this is just so bad. Like this is actually just like criminally bad. Other than the fact that it has more armor and health, which is like, I don't know. Like maybe this is hypothetically better for a Taric because he likes to stand still anyway. So, like, better for Taric support, but worse for Taric jungle because Taric jungle moves a lot more than a Taric would, especially if you're going this first item. But there's that. So, I'm not building Deadmans anymore, but what's going to happen, I think, is they nerf Thorn, and after they nerf Thorn, I'll probably look at Deadmans again. Yeah, Visage a little bit better. It's cheaper, which is really, really nice. And like, yeah, the stats, whatever, blah blah blah. You lost stats for gold, but realistically, like, you're just going this for your healing. In order to make this item viable, you can't just build the item and be like, oh yep, that's perfect. Like I hit my power spike. It's like the other items the other healing items is what makes Visage so powerful. Like if you had Rod Visage or Visage plus Death's Dance or Helia, whatever, like you need the other items to make Visage viable. And so we don't actually care about Visage stats more than we care about like, hey, the item's gonna be better if it's cheaper. So there's that. But yeah, no, this Thornmail change is so crazy. It's cheaper, it does, damage. Like, yeah, I get it, they dropped the bonus armor, but like, because you can go up first item, like it's actually better than Deadman's because it helps your clear. Like it actually helps your clear. Obviously just like a Rammus is gonna clear, they're gonna keep hitting you. So the Thornmail clear has been very, very nice. This is some criminal nonsense. I don't know. I don't know what this is. No one is building Iceborne at all. Like, who is building Iceborne? And then they made it 400 gold more expensive with all these other changes. Like, I just, it's like they removed it from the game, like low key actually. Whatever. You don't care about the unmake. You care about reducing their MR by 30%. Oh yeah, and Frozen Heart. What the hell are they doing? Rock Solid? Why did they get rid of this? Why did they get rid of the Rock Solid passive? That is what like made Frozen Heart good in the first place. Without Rock Solid passive, like take Master Yi for example. Master Yi ult ignores cripples, and Frozen Heart aura is a cripple. So without the Rock Solid passive, like if you build like Frozen Heart, because I've seen it, I always thought it was funny in like the matchup where it would like the game would recommend Frozen Heart versus Yi. You would do nothing because not only is the Rock Solid gone, but he ignores the attack speed slow. So it's like this item not good anymore, right? Like you could say like, oh, but it's got more armor. Is that good? Like, not really. I don't know. That passive meant a lot, right? It's almost like you could maybe sit on a Warden's Mail and just just sit on the Warden's Mail and build other items might even be better. This Cosmic change is kind of interesting. And I was actually looking at Cosmic, or not looking at it, but I was suggested Cosmic because of the fact that you can actually proc Cosmic using Bramble. So if you went Bramble, if you went Thornmail Rush, and then you finish a Cosmic Drive, if you get auto-attacked, you're going to get movement speed. Which, that sounds good to me. Honestly, like, it's kind of hard to proc Phase Rush sometimes, and, Thornmail, like, you don't want to go, like, Thorn Deadbands, but, like, we don't care about the ability power as much. We care about the move speed. But obviously there's a lot of... It says ability damage. Oh, yeah, that's right, yeah. Because it's no longer ability damage, it's now any damage. That's why it's so correct. What else do we got? Rod changes. It's like, that's the same thing. Like, why am I still going Rod? They nerfed it. Like, what are you doing? It's like, okay, but we don't care about the AP from Rod. We care about the free level, the free health, the free everything overall, mana, whatever. Like, I wish they would have reduced these a little bit less and reduced some of the mana. But whatever, right? It's about the same. Like, this is the worst part of it. Because we want the Catalyst passive. That's why we build Rod. So... all these items, whatever. Not much to say about it. Not like there's not any of these items that are like you're gonna suddenly start building like a damage item because of the changes. Like all of them are gonna be about the same. Like this one kind of sucks actually, but it's still, I wish they had removed some stats from it, right? Because we, once again, another item that we want the passive, not the stats. So Navori a little bit less viable than before. Obviously it was questionably viable in the first place. I looked at Stride a little bit because I was looking at Lethal, and Stride is actually kind of good, but I haven't been building it. I think there's a potential for Stride, not too much though. Same thing, Taric. I didn't even see the Sunder changes. Oh, whatever. I think the other thing that kind of is bad is that they, basically left Cleaver the same when they, changed everything else. But of course they did lower its AD, which hopefully means this. I've wanted this change for forever, where they leave Cleaver as is and they remove the base AD, because what this will mean is that if Cleaver has less AD, then you'll only build this item if you're facing tanks, which is what it's supposed to be for. It's so stupid when it has like way too much like haste and AD, where the item is just like so good all the time, even against, you know, squishy champions. It doesn't matter. So I'm glad they did that. And once again, this is actually not that bad because, like, it's weird because this makes you want to like rush it first item instead. And it's like, are you gonna do that? Like, maybe you can. Like, if you're facing like a Diana Mordekaiser or something, and you want to go like Wits End Tabbies or Wits End Steel Cap, I mean, could be viable. Not gonna leave you very much health, right? Which is why you'd want to go like Rod Wits. But if you're gonna do Rod Wits, then by the time you finish your Wits, you're gonna be like over leveled, and so you're gonna lose that damage. So it's like they're almost like incentivizing you to build Wits End first item with this purchase. So, or with that change, we'll see if it matters. But obviously, lots of changes. Not really sure about all of them yet, but I kind of like what I'm seeing. The champions that are, you know, the most broken are still the ones that have always been the most broken. It doesn't feel like it's changing that much. Other than like, oh wait, I should talk about support. Have I talked about Ardent? No, but I should look at it. Because basically same thing, right? We don't care, you know, with all these items, same thing. We don't care about these things. We care about the passive, the stats. If you're ever building Ardent, you know, you're not building it for the AP, you're not building it for the shielding power, you're not building it for the movement speed, you're building it because your team locked a bunch of ADCs and they locked tanks and you need to deal AP damage. Right? That's basically the reason for it. So like all these items are just as viable, if not about the same thing. I think without the movement speed being in this, like you're never gonna build this item. Like you're always gonna go Abyssal instead. Now, like before there was a little bit of viability to build staff when you had AP heavy comps and you wanted just to, you know, get a little bit extra engage and disengage potential, but like without that, it's like you're just gonna go Abyssal every time instead. Never building Dawn Core. Berserkers are actually not that bad. Like, Berserkers are slept on. And same thing with Boots, Lucidlies, especially because they're cheap. Like, you know, losing 10 haste is whatever, but when you think about it, our haste is really only in our E and ult. Like, our Q and W don't really care that much about haste. And so just getting a cheap Boots while everyone else has to pay 1,300 gold for their Boots could be good. Right, I already talked about Lethal. I don't like Presence of Mind. I never see Presence of Mind ever in my build because I just, like, you'd have to go Green Tree because you need Revitalize in order to go Presence of Mind secondary. But even if you do, it's like if you're playing lane Taric, like why don't you just go, you know, Mana Flow Band? Like Mana Flow Band works just as well. I mean, this is kind of interesting. Like, it's kind of funny because when you used to go Shield Bash like Aftershock a long time ago, the passive like resistance when shielding would give you a little bit of armor, so it would increase your clear speed ever so slightly while you W'd yourself, but like no one ever did that. And wait, this is the support one. Yes, this is the important thing. So if I'm playing Taric support and I have Glacial or Spellbook and not Phase Rush, which of course I've been going a mix of, I'm not buying pots to start the game. I'm buying my support item and running to lane. And why? Because this thing doesn't have any mana anymore, right? No mana. If there's no mana, then, you know, this, like, I actually am, like, kind of struggling with this a little bit because, like, there's a lot of these fights where I used to be able to win or, like, get certain kills that I'm not getting anymore because I don't have, like, the Biscuit mana potion to, like, you know, surprise them with surprise mana. I don't have that anymore. But the good news is that this amount of missing health it gives you is crazy. You get chunked to, like, you know, 10% HP and you're sitting under a tower and you pop 2 of these and you're back to at least half, and it's like, that's actually really nice. I could run Nimbus, I never do. Honestly, you know, maybe I should actually look to run Nimbus instead of the magic shield that I go in the jungle, because that is like, that's just a straight up buff. So that's kind of nice. And you could say, oh, but it's decaying, but it's like, still, it's the initial part that matters the most. I don't like this item shop stuff. Like, I keep clicking it and it's just, it like makes the sound that it's been purchased, but it never actually purchases it. So like, they need to they need to figure that out because I actually hate it. I think this is good. I'm probably going to be able to sneak less dragons now because they're going to be like, dragon spawned and Lightrocket is in game. Oh, run there right now. Eventually that'll happen. We've done a simplification on the way you gain tower plate and local takedown goal. I've been actually wondering about this. I'm glad I saw this and didn't skip over it because I've been trying to figure it out. To earn gold, you must damage it personally within the last 10 seconds, not counting pets, and be within 2,500 units, or your herald damaged it, only for plates, or within 1,200 of the tower. You or anything you summon damaged it within the last 10 seconds. Or you're within it. Wait, no. This is the old version. That's the old version. You or anything you damaged the last 10 seconds or within your end 1,200 units. So before it was damage it personally and be within units. Or... So what's the difference? The people that damaged it within the past 10 seconds that are over 1,225 or that are over 1,200 units away will no longer get the plate gold, so you have to stay closer to get the gold? Oh wait, no. Wait a second. If you hit the tower and then you recall, and as you hit base, someone or like the turret plate breaks, you would still get the gold. If you could time it properly, just recall right as like your minions are hitting the tower. Yeah, that's actually not even a bad idea. Because you could just... Like, if you have a wave stacked, and it's like, it's at like half, and you don't want to like start hitting it and like try to get out because you can see them, if you just channel recall, and the plate like doesn't break, you get the recall off, but now you're in base. Like, if you're in base like right as it goes off, you could actually like cheat a recall with that. Okay, anyway. Newer players can forget to use consumable health restoration when they're low. Bro, I stopped buying potions. I'm so bad at that. I've played this game for 10 years. Please. People just don't know when to use them. But that's basically everything. I don't want to make this too long. But Taric's doing pretty good. I'm surprised they didn't revert the nerf, especially with me winning like 10 games in a row on the first day. So, yeah, Taric's good. It feels like the game still feels like Taric is in a good spot, but the game still feels boring, right? I actually like low-key miss Mythics. And Split 2, didn't finish Challenger, finished GM. I got a bad run towards the end with some certain players, and so it was just like, I just didn't really care enough. I just don't. But we'll grind. We'll see what happens. And that's it. Of course, if you have any extra questions, I'm going to continue testing and seeing what else is viable. Let me know. It's basically just going to be, Glacial, Spellbook, and Phase Rush as usual. So kind of look more forward to next season rather than this split change. But I think this change, though, will put us in a good spot for whatever they do next season, which that's nice too. All right, that's it. So thank you for watching, and see ya. Goodbye.